Hi, and welcome to the lesparis.com podcast. I'm Les. This podcast is a short daily monologue that you can listen to. Use it to practice listening to English. Use it to stimulate ideas. Use it for BGM.
Well, welcome to the Les Paris podcast. You're listening to episode 106. And yesterday in episode 105, we talked about air purifiers. Today in episode 106, I want to talk about castles. Castles. When I was a boy growing up in Canada, we didn't have castles. I came from Western Canada, and there simply weren't any real castles. In Eastern Canada, there were some castles, but you rarely went out that far. It was a several-day drive. So, for me, castles were romantic, faraway, adventurous things. They were wonderful, and I always wanted to see a castle. How about you? Have you visited a castle? Do you want to visit a castle? What kind of images does a castle make for you? I heard some people think of castles and they think of cold, hard, humid, yucky places, and they're dark. For me, they were romantic places where adventures happened and knights lived. I always wanted to go to one. My dad also always wanted to sleep in a castle. You know, a castle that had been converted into a hotel of some kind. I think that would be a great idea. Now I live in Japan and there are castles here. Most of them are real. I mean, they're the original castles from when they were first built. A few have been rebuilt because they were destroyed over time. But they're not the same as European castles. There's a different style, a different flavor to them. The European castles themselves have different styles and flavors too. Some are more romantic and some are more rugged and simple. Then you get the Disney style castle, like you see in the Disney, just before the Disney movie runs. These are sort of a fairy tale castle. When you think of castles, what kind of image comes up in your mind? What are the castles made of? Do they look like nice places? Would you like to live there, or would you like to run through them or just visit them? Or are they great for taking pictures? And where are these castles? Tell me if you have any ideas about castles next time we meet. Well, thank you for listening to the end of this podcast, episode 106 of the Les Paris podcast. We talked about castles today. Tomorrow, in episode 107, I'd like to talk about radio. So please be sure to come back and listen. See you tomorrow.